All right. So I don't know what episode this is. It could be 400. It could be 1.5. Who knows? But I get the most beautiful people I've ever met in my entire life, and two of honestly very important people in my life, because you guys were you guys were our first winners of the Space Zebra, whatever the hell it was. I don't even remember what it was called, but I love seeing you guys and I love seeing the success. But I have Widow7, the best.
What up? What up?
How long ago? How long ago was that?
Man, it was almost 3 years ago. It was like, it was 2.5 at least.
So you guys are adults now, is what you're saying.
We've grown a lot.
Yes.
A lot. But man, that intro is so nice, dude, because honestly, we feel the same way. Like, Balls, you've been like an instrumental part of our development. And one of the main reasons why we're here. Like, I think about that first night that you guys played Therapy. And like, that was a big week for us. Like, we had a meeting with Sirius Octane. And then right after that, somebody texts us and they're like, hey, Josh Balls, Wes Borland, and who else was it?
Bobby.
Zach from Shinedown. We're like, they're listening to our song. This is insane. Like, I'll never forget that moment. It was so vivid and so cool.
I you know, it's crazy. Well, one, I just want to say, when that show first started, I was in my bathroom, third floor bathroom. We were listening to bands. We were doing this stuff. And then we got this giant budget. We got these sets and all this stuff. And here I am. I'm working with Roadhounds now. And to be honest, I'm back on my third floor. I mean, I built a studio in my thing, but I have no pants on right now. It's wonderful. Like, I make my own rules now. It's wonderful. It's just me. So I feel like it's almost important that you guys are back, and you're one of my first guests on. We coined the show Headbangers Havoc because we just wanted it to be metal as fuck. And we wanted to just do fun shit. And I said, you know who we got to get? We got to get Widow7, because we were there. We were there together. We built that together. You guys were there from day one almost. And now here we are. I'm starting a new thing. And it just makes sense to have you guys here. It just makes sense.
Universes, dude, just aligning.
Yeah.
It's wild. I remember listening to Therapy and just being like, this is it. I remember we freaked out about it, and we're just like, how are you guys were one of the first bands that were like, how are these bands just coming out of nowhere?
Bro, we hadn't even played a show at that point.
Yeah, it's like bands. Yeah. I feel like your like Spotify plays were like 6.5.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, we had just announced the band, and like this thing started rolling so quick. I still don't know how to explain it. In all my like years of being a musician or whatever, I've never been in something that's excelled as quickly as this did. And like, again, thanks to you and the chat, like, it was a big part of that. But yeah, we hadn't even played a show, and it's just
crazy. Like, so I'm with Roadhounds now, and we're trying to do. We're trying to elevate that to the next level, is trying to offer bands and everything from touring vehicles to equipment to festival shows, basically what we were doing on Space Zebra, and times it by 5,000. And I feel like you guys understand that grind and what we had to do and what you guys had to do. There was the battle for LA. It was the middle of COVID. It was the end of COVID, but holy shit, like, I can't wait to get back into the grind of, featuring unsigned artists and pushing them and giving them opportunities like we gave you guys a demo deal. We put you guys on festivals, and you guys took advantage of that. And that's what the point of these kind of shows is to take advantage of the platforms that we give and then excel. And over the last 3 years, you guys have done wonderful things, like very wonderful things. Can you feel, I was going to say us but me in, can you feel us as in Roadhounds in on what you guys have been up to the last, few months, year, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years?
Well, like, just to touch on what you just said, like, if there's bands watching right now, opportunities like these that Roadhounds and that DWP and has like put out there, they don't come around very much. So we're a living testament of like, take those opportunities and do everything in your possible, like anything that you can do to make it like the most efficient and, make the most out of those, and you'll keep coming back but like just keep crushing it.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to seize the moment and do everything you can, because it's like a once in a lifetime thing. It truly is.
And that's what we've been doing, to answer your question, for the last 3 years, is like
seizing the moment,
seizing those moments, man. Like if an opportunity comes, we're like, okay, how do we make this bigger, better? You know, like we're thinking about that for next year. Like, how do we make it bigger and better? Like we've been doing so many things, like incorporating the crowd and these meet and greets that, you know, we had one at Parlor that was amazing. Yeah. It was amazing,
insane, man.
I couldn't believe it. How like you guys, I remember they're like, hey, can we, you know, to Phil, everybody and I own a company called Parlor. We do these festivals. We vend at these festivals, and the guys from Widow7 were like, hey, can we do a signing at your tent? I was like, yeah, I'll come hang out. I'll have the couple kids come over and sign some stuff. Like
it'll be chill.
Table. There was like 400 people. I was like, nice. I was like, I'm selling some root beer today, baby. Thank you, Widow7. This is wonderful.
Good.
Live streaming's back. And you know what we're doing it? Over at Roadhounds. And it's fucking free. All you have to do is go to roadhounds.io and you go to the Metal City fucking free zone. That means it's free for you to come watch me be a complete idiot. It's pretty crazy. You can move the controls on your mobile screen with your hand, or you can use a keyboard. Just don't forget to take screenshots of your avatar, because I want to see it. You can discover free media inside Rock City. All you have to do is look for some terminals and click on some shit. Now you can learn about all your new favorite bands and all your next new headliners. If you want to join our community of headbangers, all you have to do is subscribe, so you can get even more content by just subscribing at Roadhounds. So we're going to give you a free Metal City free zone, and then if you want extra super cool awesome content, you just subscribe. We're going to make a positive difference to our music community. For once, finally, a positive fucking experience. But I'm proud of you guys, and I think it's testament that, you know, what drives me crazy is people see competitions like this, and I hate to use the word competition because, you know, I guess, yeah, fuck it, they're competitions, and we're gonna reintroduce some really crazy ones that no one's ready for, and I want to help. I want you guys to get involved in helping us curate some of these things. But do you think it's cheesy to be a part of stuff like that, to get like votes and almost, you know, because it's a glorified battle of the bands, you know, and some people see battle of the bands and they go, that's lame as fuck. Like, I don't want to deal with that stuff. It devalues my band. But I feel like you guys are living proof that it's a positive thing. So, I mean, I wanted your guys' take on it, because you guys have lived in the world, you know?
Yeah. For me, I would say no, because these are moments to show what you really got. Like, this is your opportunity to show how many fans, or if not fans, how many friends, how many people you have that are willing to come in. It's a way to show how good your marketing, you know, on top of how good your music.
And not only that, like the music industry is so flooded with so many great acts. To be able to figure out a way to think outside the box, to think smarter on, you know, how you're going to get these votes, you know, how you're going to get people involved. I think it shows the people running the competition, like, hey, these guys are serious. They think out of the box. They're smart. They come up with ideas that we didn't think of. And that's a big thing that's going to set you apart, and show that maybe you're ready for the next step.
I think it's wonderful for labels and booking agents to see a lot of these things, because it does show that they're not lazy. They understand, because when you get signed to a label, everyone thinks like, stop working, the label's going to do all the work, which has nothing to do with it. And it's, you have to keep hustling. So, you know, labels want to see that stuff. They want to see that these bands are still hustling, still grassroots grinding at venues, handing out flyers and going online and seeing what kind of fan base they actually have. Because, you know, a lot with today is, you know, everyone's buying bots. But like, you can't fake a battle of the bands. Like, those votes are true. Like, if you see them coming in live, like, those are, you know, people always thought, they're like, oh, these people have bots voting for them. That it wasn't possible. Like, we tried to do that shit, and it was like, try to debunk that stuff. Yeah. And like, we see the people that are coming in voting. So unless you had like 10 phones with 10 different accounts, that's the only way you can do it. And to me, that's fucking hustling, because fuck
yeah.
Like, right. Fuck it. I told people, I was like, go buy 15 iPhones. I don't give a fuck. Go make 15 accounts. If you care that much to try to figure out, and because you know what? Fuck it. if you can figure out how to figure out a situation, you know what that makes you? Intelligent as fuck. And it makes you, I understand, like, all right, this band is hustling. I remember when Bobby first said something about, go throw a show. And bands would go throw a show and then make the people all in the room vote.
Yes.
And it's crazy. And it's like bands like you guys and Nailbite and there's a couple other bands that just they were always working their asses off. And
we used to throw parties and like cook food for people to get them to come over. And
so smart. And it's crazy. And it kind of bums me out sometimes when there's bands that like, we don't want to mess around with that because it's a battle of the bands and we value ourselves more than that. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself. Because there's a lot of crazy things that are like, for me, like, oh man, I wish I could talk about it and I can't wait to talk about it. What some of the things that we're going to be giving away on 4 artists on this new channel. And I also wanted to ask you guys, so right now it's the pre-tape. Anybody that's watching, obviously you're seeing clips on social media, this stuff, but we're actually starting a live streaming platform on Roadhounds, which is going to be great. So we get to go live and get that feel again. And there's going to be a Metal City free zone at Roadhounds. So you can actually watch it for free. Which is really cool and it's awesome. But I would love for you guys to potentially be my first guest on a live stream. I don't know how it's going to go. It might be a terrible mess because we're still figuring out. We're still in like beta testing. But I would love for you guys to be my first guest.
Oh, I think we could figure out some really cool stuff to do. Like between our heads, I think we could come up with some.
I think it'd be fun.
Absolutely.
We want to do a lot of stuff like we want to go back and do a lot of the live streaming bands. Like we want to go to shows and live stream stuff like that. But then also I want a live show and I miss that live mentality of like vibing and chatting with all the Twitch people and stuff like that. And I super miss it. So I told Roadhounds, it's like, hey, I missed this. Can you build this part of your website out so I can feel it? And they're like, yeah, sure. And I went, nice.
Yeah.
So I forced them to do it.
And then it's cool when you have the comments and everything rolling in. It's a whole different environment.
It gets your palms sweaty, which is really weird. Like, remember those times where it's like one vote off and things like that when you're just like,
oh my God.
I had mini heart attacks all the time, like watching it. Remember we did it live. Remember when you jumped on the table and kid?
Yeah. People still bring that up.
They do.
To this day, they still bring that up.
I felt so bad because I know what you were doing. You were just giving that extra performance. And so just anybody know that we had a broadcasting desk live in LA at the Musicians Institute. And we're sitting there and here goes Mark. He just barreling towards us like, oh, this is cool. And these things are made out of like paper. Like it's a thin particle board desk with a tiny front just so we can put our feet under. He jumps up on it and it just explodes. It was awesome. And it was crazy. It was you guys in Speed of Light. They were awesome too, man. What a great competition. And I can't wait to get back into those things. And so the basis of me doing the shows is basically to tell people about Roadhounds and things like that. Cause a lot of people don't understand what it is. It's what we want to do is take, when you go to a festival, you have such a good time. You see all of your friends there. You get 4 days of awesomeness. You get to hang out with all your favorite bands. You get to go to these vending places like Parlor or Strung or American Musical Supply and get to hang out in these places, watch bands, hang with your friends. But then when you go home, what do? You're a fucking loser again. You're back to real life. So Roadhounds made a world and are creating more of that world where you can go and hang out every day with those same people and still have live music playing, interviews playing. We're building out. Actually, no one knows this, but there's going to be a Strange and Unusual in the metaverse, a Parlor. I'm trying to talk Bobby. I keep nudging him to make a smoke lounge inside Roadhounds, which would be really cool. So that's basically the gist of what Roadhounds is starting to do is creating a community. And, I think you guys have been really good at gaining communities. Go to roadhounds.io and come hang out with me in the metaverse while we watch live shows. We go through stores. Maybe we'll give away some guitars, some drums, maybe some free root beer. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want, we're going to give it away. Go to roadhounds.io and subscribe now. Come hang out with me. Here's the big thing. how do you build fans now? Because I'm learning it still till this day. I'm 34 years old. I still play music. I still creating the show and things like that. Like, how are you guys garnering new fans?
I think a lot of it is how active we are. And that's where you start, how active you're going to be. But just, going into different social media things and getting to know people, introducing yourself, and kind of make the product kind of an after thing. Just introduce yourself. It's nice with the festivals because you can just say like, hey, we're so-and-so, we're going to be playing this day. And then you start talking to people in the comments and everything, and you get to know them. And then like with us, the meet and greets have been great for even fostering that community.
Whole fan base. That's how you build that.
All the people that I had talked to in the chats, they got to meet us in person. They got to talk to us in person. You give them a sticker and a set list and a pick and everything. And I think it's just about being personable.
Yeah.
So are you saying that music is, I don't want to say that music is secondary, but music is secondary.
It's good to have an amazing product because they're going to go look, and that just seals the deal. They're like, these guys are great. Like, I like the way they handle themselves, and, they're cool. And then the music is like, oh shit, this bangs too. And then they're in. Like, we have a community with good product, And
I feel like, you're such a good front man, especially with like, it was hot out. This motherfucker has a fur coat on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's when you know that you're here, you're passionate. You love what you're doing. You're like, you're giving them a show. So you guys do give that great product, and it's awesome.
That's a good shout too. Loving what you're doing. Like, we full 100% love performing. We love hanging out with everybody. And I think if you weren't authentic in that way, it shows. So you do need to love it. Like, eat, sleep, and breathe it.
I just did an interview like maybe an hour ago, and one of the things I said, because he's asking if I get nervous, and I'm like, yeah, I get nervous, but not necessarily about the show. It's about me making sure that I put 110% into my performance.
I fucking love that about you.
It's honestly, it's terrifying. So as you guys know, I came and played a show for the first time in like 6 years at Louder Than Life Festival. And Mark, I don't know how you do it, because I had to tape all my lyrics on the stage, all of them.
Really?
I forgot every single one of them. If you see, like, I kind of feel like I'm being creepy. Like, it looks like I'm being creepy. I'm looking down at my lyrics because I forgot all of them. It was so terrifying because, as you know, anybody that knows who I am, I was in a band called Motionless in White, and I played keys. So I had this like protective layer in front of me, which was my keys. I would headbang. I did do vocals live with the band as well, but I was in my comfort zone. But I was like, when that intro started and I came out, I went, oh fuck, what's the first? So the first song that we played live at Louder Than Life Fest, I'm releasing very soon. And I hate that people are they're gonna go back and see the live show, and I got the first line completely wrong. Horrible. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the first line of the first song. And it just set a bad precipice. So I compliment any front man that can just not only just remember the words, but be confident on stage. And I feel like you guys are confident, and it's wonderful to see. And I think you guys portray being in a band really, really well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, that's we rehearse so much.
Yeah,
that it makes it easier to go up there and be. I like to be so rehearsed that's what gives me my confidence. Like, you're still scared as shit when you're walking up there, but like your muscle memory is still there, even if your brain's going haywire. But like, as you said, it's so easy to hide behind an instrument instead of just a mic. It's a huge difference.
That's why he wears a coat, huh?
I stopped wearing the coat.
Yeah.
You did?
I stopped wearing. Yeah. So I have a very specific reason. It's because there were a bunch of shows, there are at least 3 or 4 shows that I would show up wearing the fur coat, and some singer in another band is now wearing a white fur coat.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, well, shit, I got to be ahead of the curve, so I'm going to go do something else.
Naked next.
Did you fight anybody? So you take that thing, you take that jacket the fuck off, or I'm gonna shove it down your throat. I mean, naked is the next vibe. I mean, I have no pants. Dude. I have no pants on right now. I wouldn't judge you.
Look, man, I'm not ready for that. But no, you asked if I fought anybody about the fur coat. No, but this singer did come up to me and was like, "Hey, are you wearing your fur coat tonight? Because I was gonna wear mine." And I looked at him and I'm like, yes, I am.
All right, here's the thing. Were you headlining over them?
Yeah.
Hey, you get to say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
You're the big dogs.
I think we were that night, right? If it was the same one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I love if like the headliner came up and said that, if like it was like Avenged Sevenfold and you're like playing with Avenge and M Shadows comes up and is like, "Are you wearing your fur coat? Because I might." And you go, "Yes, I am. You cannot wear yours, Matthew."
Oh. Like, we'll wear whatever the hell you want us to.
Naked.
Yeah, whatever. We're playing with Avenge. I'll do it.
That's honestly fair. I mean, those dudes are OG. I mean, actually, speaking of like Avenge and whatever the fuck, who are you guys listening to right now to like kind of inspire what you guys are fucking putting out? Because I feel like it's a lot different. I try to put my thumb on like what you guys are inspired by, and it's tough. I really can't.
Oh, we do. I love that about this band. I've been in other bands, and like with this band, you can't quite put your finger on exactly what it is. You'll hear twinges of so many different things, and that's because we like so many different things. Between the four of us, our tastes are so different.
Vastly different.
Mark and I's are similar, but still quite different. But the other two in the band just vastly different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I was listening to Silent Planet.
Dude, Antimatter. That's what I was going. Antimatter by them is so good.
Yeah. I personally, man, I listen to weird shit. Like I listen to a lot of R&B, and I listen to a lot of hip hop, and like that's like where I've been trying to get my ideas from writing lyrics, because like it's like, what better place to go to than a lyricist, like a master at lyrics. Kendrick Lamar, master.
That's fair.
Storytelling.
You guys have wonderful melodies. I think that's what really stuck apart when I first started listening to your band, is like your choruses are humongous. Like I've said it before and I'll say it again, like your band with your choruses can go up against any mainstream rock band's choruses every day, any day, anytime. And they're just massive. And I just, where you guys pull those from, I don't know. But now that you're saying, R&B and stuff like that, and like that hip hop world is, they're always super melodic, and that's why maybe your melodies are so unique, is because you get to pick from a whole different genre of music. That's why you have that leg up on people, which is fucking cool.
Yeah. And we like to go into the studio with like no boundaries. Like there's a few, but like whatever we flush out. Like we just got back from Nashville yesterday, and like again, like two songs that are pushing boundaries and are gonna sound like Widow7, but like are totally different.
Yeah. What's next for you guys? Like, are you guys signed? Are you on a label? What the hell are you guys doing? And what can you leak to me that no one knows?
We have a distribution deal with the record label, which is cool. He's very helpful. He was in a bigger band himself, so he's kind of like showing us the ropes and more in the digital side of things. He works more in the digital, streaming apps and things like that. But we have a new song dropping next Friday. I don't know when this releases, but November 24th.
I'll make sure it gets out before then, so we can get some promo behind it.
11/24, our new song WTF. What the funk?
Oh,
no,
what the frick?
No.
What the fudge? Sure.
Yeah, that comes out that Friday, and we're really stoked to see what people's reactions are on that one, because again, it's off the wall. We pushed some limits. We took some influences from somewhere we've never taken them before. And it's cool, and its chorus is super catchy. You're gonna get that again, but
is it from Sesame Street? A lot of influences, like Big Bird, Oscar the Grouch, the Muppet, all the Muppets. So speaking of your distro deal, I manage a couple bands as well, and we always talk about like labels versus distro deals versus this kind of stuff. What would you, being an up and coming band, are you happy with that kind of situation? Are you looking for something else? Let's hope your guy that does distribution doesn't hear this. If you have anything,
right, right.
Awful, hate it.
I mean, he's even said, like this could be a great stepping stone. Like he's going to help us get our numbers to a place where we are a valuable asset, maybe to a bigger label. They always get their kick. They're upstream. He'll get his little kickback if we sold up the stream. And that would be great for us. Right now we do everything on our own, so it would be great. I mean, we have a team, but if we had like a highly involved
it'd be
team,
nice. I understand what exactly you're going for. Is for all these bands listening that do DIY stuff, it's so difficult because you're not only writing music, you're your own marketing team, you're your own video team, you're your own social media guy, your own this, your own that, and it takes a toll. It's a full-time job, and then most bands that are up to a certain level all have day jobs. I worked up until, I was still signed. I was on Fearless Records. I thought I made it. I was like, I don't ever have to work again. I had to move out of a $200 a month apartment because I was like, oh, sick. This is how this is. Like, the music industry is terrifying, and you still have to have a job. And that's a realistic situation. So having a team behind you, like a label, that is the greatest thing. And people go, well, labels take all your money. Like, take all my fucking money, make my life easier. That's how I say sometimes, is like, yes, I think the record label industry is a little skewed, and I think it should be massaged better to be beneficial to the artist. But still, it's a two-way street. Like, I manage these bands, and I put in hundreds of hours, and they're still baby bands. And I was like, so I haven't taken $1 from them. And I'm like, hey, listen, can I get like a Red Bull or something? Like, this is nice. But no, I think I really wanted to get your opinion on the distro deal versus a label, and it is a stepping stone. I think it's a wonderful thing to be able to build that team around you, and then people that care about your band and stuff like that. This is a virtual city where metal culture thrives, and to be honest, there's nowhere else like it. So we want to show you what it's all about, and all you have to do is go to roadhounds.io and just subscribe. Do you guys have any tours that you want to tell me about that you're not allowed to?
I honestly wish we did. With the distribution, he's kind of coaching us on how to improve our numbers, and we've tripled some of our streaming numbers, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. But we're honestly waiting for the right situation to tour more. We're going to do a lot of runs next year. Yeah. We're going to hit all those markets that we hit with the festivals. We're going to go on like 2-week runs to go see all the family and friends that we've made along the way. And then, of course there's stuff we can't say, but
nice. Nice.
Listen.
Also, Avenged Sevenfold, if you are listening, please help your boys out.
I'll tell you just give us 30 seconds of your time. And like, if you don't, you just listen to 30 seconds. And if you feel like I've wasted your 30 seconds, the next time I'm in Los Angeles, you can kick me right in the nuts for wasting.
I would say there's a giant chance that someone from Avenged has listened to your band. Like, I would say there's a very, very big chance because, one, Bobby, I mean, we know Zachy and Johnny's been on the show before. Zachy's been like, John, I know Bobby listens to your band like in his car because I've driven in Bobby's car, and Zachy is always with Bobby. So I'm going to go on a big chance that Avenged Sevenfold has definitely heard, somebody in Avenged Sevenfold has definitely heard your music, which is probably terrible because they haven't called you guys yet, so you must suck.
They're like, oh no, not these guys.
I would love to see, what it drives me nuts sometimes is a lot of these big bands now are only taking out 2 bands. So it's like a 3-band tour now, and it sucks. Like, you used to go to a show and it'd be like stacked 6 bands.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, it's Spirit Box, such and such, and Shinedown, and that's it. And then all these small bands don't get the chance to grow because they don't, because I understand, as a person who's headlined before, having 6 bands before you and then headlining is the worst. It's terrible. You have to wait all day. The fans are all dead by then. So I understand the 3 package bill, but bands, listen, big bands, headliners, please take out an unsigned artist.
Just one more. Just
four
one
bands.
Yeah, just take out a baby. Give them 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like if you're a headliner playing something more than 500,000 cap rooms to 10,000, 20,000, take out a small band.
Yeah, bro. And if you're watching, you won't even know we're there. Give us 20 minutes. You won't even know we're there, and I'll cook for you every night. I'm a pretty good cook. I'll cook for you and stuff. And
well, I mean, how old are you guys?
You gonna bring up Vans? How they used to have the cook band? Yes.
The barbecue band.
Yes, dude.
Like that.
What a great tradition.
That needs to come
what a
back.
great tradition.
Yeah.
Hey, I got some secrets that I cannot wait to tell you guys. Like,
are you gonna do a cooking show?
No, that'd be cool. I should do that. But no, there's some really cool stuff that I can't wait. And hopefully within the next few weeks, I can announce it. But besides the point, I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to shoot myself in the foot and say something stupid. But no, I remember Warped Tour, the barbecue band, they would come and cook every night. They would hook the barbecue to the back of their van and go to every show. And their part of that, if they were the barbecue band, is they have to play Warped Tour every day.
Yep.
And it was wonderful. Just do that. Like your catering, it should be, instead of a catering company, just, hey, I got Widow7 out here making cheeseburgers for y'all. Then they're going to play for 20 minutes, come back and finish cooking for you. I think we got to bring it back. There has to be, again, I'm going to scream it. National artists, big bands, stop doing 3 band tours. Stop. Just stop. So
they're just sitting there going, well, who's going to pay them, balls? You?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Like, fuck it.
As a matter of fact.
Well, I mean, I guarantee 99% of bands will be like, don't pay me, let me sell merch. Like, would you guys go on tour with Avenged Sevenfold and they're like, we can't pay you,
but you can sell merch, and
you can sell merch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You would make your nut, no questions asked. If you're a halfway decent band, you're gonna do okay.
100%. So I mean, this just goes out to some of these bands that are probably not listening to this, which you should be. If you're my friends and you're listening to this, fuck you. But it is crazy, and seeing how the touring world is. I'm trying to figure it out myself. And again, I'm doing this thing with Roadhounds because I am passionate about music, and I could have just, when Space Zebra kind of dwindled off a bit, and I chose to kind of go a different way, is I could have just walked away. I have so much shit that I'm doing in my life, but I was like, what? I loved helping bands and musicians, because I feel like that's like my gift in life is to help people, and especially in the music industry, where it's like, I want every band to be successful. I want you guys to play every show to 1,000+ people. And I don't care if you're in Arkansas, you're in Des Moines. I don't care if you're in Montana, like Florida, anywhere. I want there to be people watching and supporting local and unsigned artists and things like that. So I'm here. I'm back, baby. We're here. We're doing it.
And that's super rad, man. The industry needs more mentoring people like yourself. It's amazing.
Well, I'm a pretty big loser.
Okay.
But so you have a new song coming out. It's called What the Fudge.
Sure. The frick, yeah.
What the I got nothing else. I'm so shy.
What's funny, there's a radio station literally playing it right now, and they reached out this morning and they're like, hey, am I crazy, or does it say what the fuck? And I was like, for all intents and purposes, it says what the funk. And he's like, that's all I needed to hear.
What the funk? We're gonna go with it.
Balls on these guys though to play it. Like, you'll see when it comes out, you're like, commercial radio played that?
I'm interested now. Now I'm super interested. And I think
you're gonna be like
watching this. You guys have to listen to it. And we need to get the other shitty thing is streams are so important, and I hate that. I hate it.
It's the metric for everything.
Yeah.
It is the worst. Like, what a joke it is, but I understand it. I get it. Labels and booking agents want to know that you're going to draw people. If your Spotify listeners are 500 people versus you're going up against a band that has 500 Spotify listeners, who are you going to choose to open that tour? And again, it goes back to the 3-band tour, the opener. It's like they want to sell tickets, and it just sucks that no one takes chances and risks anymore. Again, when I was in a band and Fearless we had nothing. No one gave a fuck about us. No one cared. No one wanted to manage us. No one wanted to book us. Fearless took a chance on us, and it paid off, huh? They're doing all right.
Was that Bob Becker?
That was Bob Becker.
He still does that today too with his new label. It's awesome.
I actually reached out to the Thriller team today to have a conversation with them, because I think they're doing I'll go on record to say Bob Becker is one of the best human beings in music that has ever existed. He gives a shit. He cares about, again, another dude that could have just retired and said, fuck music, I don't want anything to do with it. Turns around, starts this label, and becomes successful again.
Yep.
So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sold Fearless, and he could have cashed out right then and there and left, but his passion. Passion kept him in.
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of Thriller and what they're doing. If no one has heard of Thriller Records, one, best name I've ever heard. Two, some really cool bands coming out of Thriller. A lot of my friends are on Thriller as well. So, take a dive down their discography, because, they're doing crazy things. They have a great team. And there's not a lot of labels doing it like that anymore. And I think it's crazy. It's wild.
Kind of touch on that too. I think people like that, and people willing to bring in new bands. That's how you keep the rock scene alive, because with hip hop, hip hop artists are always doing collabs and bringing younger artists out. And I think that's one thing that rock really needs. The whole 3 of the biggest bands on tour, that's good for you guys, but we got to look at the future. What's going on in the future,
Who's the next headliners? We've always had that conversation.
And some dude, how cool it was to see Post Profit out with Nothing More on the Parlor Root Beer Nothing More tour. That was amazing. Post Profit, those are our boys, and for them to get that opportunity was incredible. And they're gonna run with it. We know they are.
Yeah, it's wild to see some of these bands that have been on our show that are doing wild shit now. The guys from Nerve, you guys from Widow7, guys from Post Profit. All of these bands, Archers, they're doing great things. And some of these bands call me and they go, "Hey, listen, thank you." And I go, "What the fuck did I do?" I was like, "We just played your shit." I'm a fan of all of these bands. I love Archers. I love Nerve. I love Widow7, Nailbite, Post Profit, fucking Lone Wolf. I can go on and on and on and on and on about all these bands, Gloomchild and fucking Dissonation, and all of these bands are great fucking bands. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything of being great fucking bands, good people, and passionate people, and they deserve it. These bands deserve it. You guys deserve it. All these bands are fucking working 10 times harder than some of these giant bands are working. And it's I would love to be the forefront and keep on going to what we were working on in the beginning, to just move that needle and find those next headliners and grow them. And it's hey, if we need $1,000 to be able to go on tour, I want to be that guy that goes, "Hey, Roadhounds, this band needs $1,000. Give them $1,000.
Yeah, dude. If that's all that's stopping you, yes, here you go.
And it's great. Roadhounds is giving away thousands and thousands of dollars to these unsigned artists, the platform. So one thing a lot of people don't know is when you subscribe to Roadhounds, every subscription, a portion of those proceeds goes to investing in unsigned artists. Every single subscription. And I want to spread that word and tell people that, I love giving money to other charities, but who's the most charitable? All these unsigned babies. I don't want you guys to have to work at Kmart anymore. I worked at Kmart. It sucked. It's time.
I'm envisioning a young Josh Balls in the Kmart aisles right now.
I was a cashier, and I had long blonde hair. I had to wear a white T-shirt. That was the outfit. But I don't want that for people anymore. I want band dudes to be able to, and band chicks to be able to hone on their craft and put out the best thing they can. If they can't afford studio time, I want to give it to them. If they can't afford to go on tour, I want to give it to them, or we want to give it to them. Roadhounds is definitely going to be in the forefront of just we gave Traverse the Abyss $7,500. they want studio time, they want to print merch, they want to try to figure out how to do playlisting and this stuff and figure out all this shit. We gave Hexla $1,500. We gave this, and we're gonna keep doing that. Like, I'm trying to get them to give me a budget that every time I interview a band, I give them $500.
Yeah, dude, you're on some.
I'm not
look under your chair right kind of stuff.
I want to be Oprah. That'd be sick. The Oprah of the music industry would be crazy. Hey, Roadhounds, if you're listening, I want to be Oprah of the music industry. Let's figure this out. What are we giving away? I told them I want to give away. So we've been working with American Musical Supply. Like, that's one of our because I love Greg over there. Great people. I was like, hey, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, I pitched this idea of giving away a van and trailer filled with a bunch of music gear. And I'm like, hey, let's do this. Just give it away. Let's just give I want to give this chair away. I want to give that away. Like when we just back in the day, remember when Bobby used to give away pillows?
Oh, dude.
Bobby legit gave away Jake's bedspread once. And he had to ship it out. His comforter, his pillow. I want to go back to that. I want to give away cool shit, have a fun time, and do stuff like that. So, and it's going to happen. And you guys, I feel like, are so important to that because you guys were the breakthrough of what we started. And I think coming back to you guys and reimagining what's happening in the future and what we're doing here and what you're doing is proof that it works. The concept is there. So we just need to go forward, and it's amazing.
We're with it, dude. Everything that you just said is huge, and it would be a great advance for rock metal in general.
Yeah.
Just like, give these bands money and then show them how to spend it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the big thing.
To teach them how to flip that. Like, I'm going to give you $500 and I'm going to show you how to turn that into 1,000 and then 2,000. And
such a great idea. So consulting, money, that's it. I think that's it. So, I mean, I think, I think that's it. Roadhouse, if you listen to this entire thing.
I'm a big stickler on business because, like, even with Widow7, I did this in previous bands too, but like with Widow7, we have never put in a dime of our own money ever.
Crazy.
Ever. We started with, I think 3 or 4 drum heads that I drew cartoons on, and it generated like $1,000. And that was our first merch order. And then it was on. Like, we've bought a van, a trailer. We've recorded 13 or 14 songs now, and
that's amazing. I think people
that's what it takes.
It's hustling.
That's a business, that's a business.
People need to understand that a band is a business, and they need to, a lot of these bands just do music, and they have to understand, like, you need a fucking marketing degree, you need a business degree, like we touched on earlier. And it's true, when you hustle, it gets there. It'll get you things, and I think that's wonderful. I didn't know that about you guys. I think that's fucking cool. Like, that's cool. And that should honestly motivate other bands to be like, hey, if they can do it, we can do it. If they can do it, they can do it. If this can do it, this can do it. Like, it's out there. I mean, the opportunities are out there, and you motherfuckers are in Iowa.
Yeah. Well, we have a band here, that set the bar pretty damn high.
What is that? What are they called? Slump kitten? Slump?
Sailor's Knot?
Sailors.
Shoe tie?
Shoe tie. Shoelaces.
Shoe tie. Yeah. Shoelaces. They have a song called "Do Liddy," I think. Push your fingers.
Do Liddy. Do Liddy.
But no, I'm really happy for you guys. I'm really proud of you guys, and I want everybody to know that you guys have a new song called WTF coming out next Friday, which is, what is the date on it?
11/24.
11/24. So everyone go stream it, support it, share their music, share this interview. Just, we're starting something crazy, and you guys want to be in, you guys want to join what we're doing, make sure you subscribe. And again, a portion of all of the subscriptions goes to supporting bands like Widow7 and a bunch of unsigned artists. So please. How
much is it, Balls?
So right now there's an introductory rate. It's so for 3 months, subscription's only $15.
Bro, I'm gonna go sign up today.
Spread the word.
That's cool. I think that's cool.
Hey guys, it's your friendly neighborhood Josh Balls, just here telling you that I have a new show coming out. It's going to be called Headbangers, Havoc, and it's going to be on Roadhounds. And you can find it there. What we're going to do is we're going to give away a ton of shit all day, every day. We're going to go live. We're going to do pre-tape interviews. Basically, what we want to do is, when you're hanging out at a festival, you only get 4 days with your friends. It's terrible. What we're going to do is we're going to bring that vibe to you 365 days a year, and it's going to be incredible. Not only for bands, but anybody that enjoys bands. So make sure you come check it out. roadhounds.io. I'll catch you there. Make sure you subscribe.